It's so that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long.
Bark.
Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Where are you going, boy?
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west, toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years.
Damn.
To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there. It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy.
Yeah.
I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rook goes right through those trees. Come on.
I wonder if this counts towards the trophy. No. Oh yeah. Oh, it does. Cool.
Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here?
Oh, wow.
My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home.
Ooh.
Sorry for the wait. We're ready.
Yeah, I guess I'll do the quests one by one. It's very easy to get overwhelmed with quests. Do I have the potions?
What are you looking for?
Yeah.
You're welcome anytime.
Do you see that too?
Oh. I guess we are kind of close to where the Crystalline Dominion was.
Is it? Oh, please. Stop. I'm scared.
It's all right.
Run like the wind. Can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you! If it's a fight you want, it's a fight you shall have!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field Marshal, oblige him.
This won't take long.
Oh.
You're right. It won't. Men, finish him.
Fucked up. Alright, who did that? Is it you? Whatever.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, I presume. Are either of you injured?
No, my lord. You arrived just as our escort turned on us.
Fucking traitors. I'd heard reports of soldiers in the outlying regions abandoning the oaths they swore. But I hadn't thought the corruption had reached so close to the heart of the Republic. It's a fucking disgrace. Your interfering old bastard of an uncle tried to warn me, of course.
Yeah.
My lord Marquis. Or is Sid the Outlaw more to your liking?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I am, or the urgency of the message I bring. My uncle has a plan to right the realm, and he needs your help to see it through.
Before I agree to anything, I'd have you answer one question. What do you stand to gain from all this?
I won't deny that I might benefit from further chaos. But I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not always have been the right ones, I know I made them for the right reasons. For so long, so many of us have been told how we could live, how we could die, when it should have been our decision all along. Now, we have a chance to put things right. But in order to take it, we must stand together. Even if it be beside those with whom we don't see eye to eye.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. But perhaps your uncle was right. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering my most trusted guard to bring the Dalmekian fringes under control. Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I can't convince them to try and restore order in their own territory.
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only ones we will need to convince.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But those they answer to require a different kind of persuasion. And when it comes to honeyed words, well, we will need an envoy. One who can court even the most stubborn of statesmen. You, perhaps?
I'm flattered. But I'm no diplomat either. And I have other problems to attend to. What we need is a skilled arbitrator. And I may know just the person.
Is that so? And would he happen to be an outlaw too?
Of a different kind, perhaps.
Well, beggars can't be choosers. I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw in ourselves if we're to make it through this. Very well. Send your man to me right away.
I shall.
My Lord Marquis. Your Lord Uncle bade me escort the Field Marshal to his manor in Port Isolde.
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good, my lord.
Alright.
An envoy. I'm not sure I'm the man to talk anyone round. I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. This is a job for someone with experience. Someone like Quentin. I hope I can convince him at least.
Who the fuck keeps calling me? Pickle fraud? Really wish these fucking band clothes would fuck right off.
That'll do, girl.
I'd have followed Quentin to that manor if I could have done, and I'll keep following him now. Wherever that's...
Quentin, I have a proposal for you.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more of me than a cask of Gotand gold. Go on, then. Propose. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamberlains of the realm that they should simply swallow their pride and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands of years. Was there anything else? Perhaps I can fetch you a meat pie as well.
I know it's a lot to ask, but I can think of none better suited to the role.
And you'd have me give up what little I have left to do it. I told you, Clive. The people of Lostwing are my family, and I cannot abandon them. You'll have to find someone else.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So am I.
And why might that be?
What he's asking. How's it any different to what you've done so far? They want you to speak for those who can't speak for themselves. That's what you do best. If it's the vineyard you're worried about, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons filled. You know we will.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're family. Don't you trust us?
You know that's not what I'm...
Then what are you saying? That only we are worth saving? Why turn your back on everyone else? You convinced us we could build new lives for ourselves, and if you can do that, who's to say you couldn't convince the entire realm?
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall somewhat flat by comparison.
So you'll join us?
Where do you need me?
Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. He's currently in Port Isolde. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to accompany you there.
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from safe these days.
Hopefully not for long. My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Uncle, I bring good news. The Field Marshal has agreed to your plan.
Ha! Of course he has. I didn't doubt you for a moment, dear boy.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to your manor in Port Isolde as we speak. They will await your return there. As will one other.
One other? Who, exactly?
Lord Havel was concerned that even if he could get the realm's armies to agree to an accord, he might not be as successful in convincing those with political power. He asked if I might have a solution, and I suggested a certain Imperial Lord Magistrate turned Liberator.
One of your co-conspirators?
Master Quentin would probably call me one of his, but yes.
Another outlaw, then. Just the thing we need to put these rotten politicos in their places. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you approve.
The more the merrier, eh?
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quentin can solve our problem with the armies, you still haven't mentioned how we might manage the grain shortages.
Oh, don't you worry, my boy. The 7 high houses will be seeing to that. They have all agreed to make the most generous of donations. Oh, of course, it did take a little persuasion, but luckily I had some unexpected help.
From who?
Why, you, my boy. Rumor has it that you rescued the Lady Ariane's head steward Rockford from a horde of bloodthirsty bandits.
It was more of a handful.
Well, the old battle axe was so pleased. She had a shipload of talents delivered to my private docks by the next new moon. And when the other houses saw the parsimonious old crone's purse strings finally loosen, They as good as tripped over themselves in the rush to follow suit.
I'm happy to hear it.
Now, I must be getting back to the manor. Join us there at your earliest convenience, would you?
Of course, Uncle.
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Indeed, they bob away in every bay from here to Randalar, awaiting a safe haven. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those who crowd the cities are fed, ferry the displaced back to the countryside to work the fallow fields. But I'm sure that you wish to continue your discussion. Forgive the interruption. Two such firm friends as yourselves need no help from the likes of me. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great bond between you.
Us? Friends?
I can't stand the man!
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of the company you keep.
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal!
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this fine, upstanding young gentleman.
Upstanding? He calls himself Sid the Bloody Outlaw!
Once more onto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation, nor to claim the thrones of those that already exist. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm that mankind might weather the current storm. And to do that, we must convince those in power, the generals, the statesmen, the nobles, that our cause is just. There will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resistance, much resistance. But we cannot let that deter us. If we show them the path, show them that we walk it ourselves, then I am confident they will follow. The fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in ours. And we must not squander the chance that Clive has given us.
Uncle Byron,
Now, with that settled, let's move on to the signing of the Accord. For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea, I present to you the Triunity. Rutherford, Mike Will. Well, my boy, the stage is set.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. Now I ask only that you trust in the talents of your supporting cast. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities, that you might have the opportunity to shine. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. And there is no better Crandall than you, Clive. I want you to keep this signed accord as proof of our faith in you.
I will. Thank you, Uncle.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is it going to do?
Quiet. Our village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in?
Complete botany of Banes. Wait, hold on.
His interests were certainly varied.
Is this about the brand? The Moogle. No spirit or sprite appears more often in Valestean folk tales than the humble Moogle, though they are occasionally painted as mischievous souls akin to pixies or imps. Most stories depict them as clumsy, yet congenial spirits who delight in helping mankind with their daily labors. Helping mankind. That's not very similar to Final Fantasy XIV at all. They are said to have sweet tooths, leading to the common superstition that one must not leave cakes or other sweetmeats uncovered overnight, lest not remain but crumbs come morning. Okay. In appearance, they are described as covered head and toe in soft white fur, excepting the small dark wings by which they are somehow able to take flight, and the brightly colored pom-poms that protrude from the tops of their heads. And yet, there is one detail regarding the Moogle that most find more remarkable than even the orb that tops his brow. The fact that the creatures that actually exist. Preposterous, I hear you cry. Everybody knows that Moogles are the stuff of legend. I quite agree. But every legend has its basis in truth. And in the case of the Mughal, the fact may be not so dissimilar to the fiction. Ancient bestiaries lists a white mole whose feet do not touch the ground among the beasts of the realm, and the illustration beside the name? Why, it is none other than the Mughal. Of course, it is true that the creatures are not known to still survive in the twins in modern day. Perhaps their miniature wings carried them to other climes. Perhaps they were hunted to extinction. Or perhaps, just perhaps, they do still live among us, hidden up far away from human view. Okay. Chapter 16, The Fall of the Bears. The emergence of the first magic adepts was widely heralded as a gift from the gods. Indeed, the title with which those with the gift came to be commonly known is most likely a contraction of Bearer of the Heavenly Blessing. Oh. The wording used by the tribunes of the time. Those born with the blessing were lauded as living crystals and granted high office and plentiful reward for their status as chosen ones. Over the years, this reverence for the kind would become a full-fledged religion led by the bearers themselves, a development that would prove fateful. The diverse nations of the time were unanimous of their disapproval of the founding of the church. While the authorities had for years welcomed bearers into positions of power in their own structures of state, they were mistrusting of an organization led by bearers, for bearers. Understandable. Efforts were immediately made to chasten the church and its followers. Chasten? Banning members from holding office, evicting adherents from their homes, and breaking up meeting by force. The church responded by forming a volunteer army to resist this persecution, and yet it continued, creating a cycle of ever-increasing bloodshed and rancor, and a growing rift between those born with the blessing and those without. What began with beatings and street clashes would eventually spill over into an all-out war that consumed the greater part of the twins for nigh a generation, and decimated the population of men and bears both. The deluge of blood that stained the land crimson and left an even more lasting mark upon the minds of the Valistan people. After the bears' last resistance was crushed, the nations of Valistia came together to sign the Continental Accord that initiated the system of slavery that persists across the realm to this day. Okay, so it's like, in some aspects, it's like the Germans after World War II. Its well-known phrase, bears are other than human, has its roots in the bitter war of the years before, being the unblessed only excuse for the calamitous refusal to allow the blessed to decide their own destinies. Okay.
This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Yeah. Oh. In the wake of the tragic fire at Cairn Northern in 873B, and a subsequent depletion of our most highly practiced intelligencers, highly practiced intelligencers, all mainland strongholds were instructed to redouble training in Celestin maneuvers. improvised weaponry and assassination techniques, and dispatch promising volunteers to Stonehere for inspection. The report details progress made by the stronghold at Garnick and reinvigorating Walud's ranks of steam intelligencers. Okay. Is there any more lore? Don't want to read, Joshua? I thought you were a scholar. A scholar of sorts. Sir, gonna be executors.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you from a distance, so to speak.
I get it. I get it.
I know who you are.
Then we
Cracking
need not
jokes,
waste
are we?
time on introductions. Hand me the book.
No, dude.
Leave it in our care and return to your life.
Your care? Do you mean to burn it or bury it?
That is not my decision to make.
Fair enough.
By one means or another, its contents shall be removed from the common record.
Then I'll have to politely refuse. I won't let you erase our history.
Then we find ourselves at an impasse. Very well. The book can just as easily be pried from your dead hand.
Yeah, bring it on, dude. I fought icons. Oh, where are you going? Okay.
Let's see, shall we?
He's blind. This will be easy.
Farewell. Nice try.
Oh, didn't mean to hit that. Fuck. Whoops. I forgot how to block for a split second.
Impressive.
Okay.
But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
Okay.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small. We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it.
It was kind of
Let's
spinning.
get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about.
Alright. Time for this part.
Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dock. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Speaking of Akashic.
Time to fight.
Get him! Get him!
There we go. Man, I really hope this game runs better on PC. Can't escape me. Hey, Doris.
There were no guards, I take it.
None manning the gates, no. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are crawling with Akashic. Most likely guards left behind when the Wardens ran. If Chadwick was being held here, I worry that he may already be.
Don't give up hope just yet. But let's move quickly. Let me check the ground floor. The ether stick is there.
Then I'll search the upper level. Good luck, Sid. Stay safe.
Yeah.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. We're risking a lot just being here. Better keep my eyes open for signs of life. Locked up tight.
I thought I was using a key. Whatever. Balmung Dark, writ of designation. The Kingdom of Waloed hereby designates this facility a prison for the detainment of bearers, both foreign and domestic. The purpose of this facility is to rear and train Akuza bees for deployment in the field. Huh. I wonder what that is. The aforementioned purpose is a matter of strictest secrecy, and any mention thereof is to be punishable by death. Okay. captive bears have been provided solely for the pursuit of the aforementioned purpose. Express permission is required for use of bears in any other capacity. That's kind of fucked up.
This place was no ordinary prison, and I doubt they'll have taken the creature with them when they fled.
Alright. Recommendation concerning Kuza beast deployment. The Kuza has long been recognized as an especially aggressive species. That sounds like fun. This being the case, it was hoped that a successful deployment on the battlefield might be a means of inflicting heavy casualties on the enemy. Yeah? In exercises conducted thus far, however, the beast has proven incapable of distinguishing between allied and enemy combatants. As such, deployment alongside regular troops is not recommended. Sounds familiar to something I played or watched before. It is proposed instead that bear captives be employed in order to draw enemy focus, and the beast then driven into the fray in order to achieve maximum benefit with minimal loss of Waluder lives. Waluder lives.
Minimal loss of Waluder lives. And what happens when they run out of bearers? Even the Imperials take better care of their branded than that.
The fact that it sounds a lot like BOWs from Resident Evil, where they use BOWs to fight, but they can't distinguish between friend or foe until Resident Evil 6. Or is it 5? Whatever. Random on because Kuza beats feeding. Recent supply shortages left us with insufficient resources to feed the Kuza entrusted to our care. Okay, so they ran out of bears. Fortunately, the creature was observed to kill and consume the bears assigned to fight beside it in a mock battle conducted as part of its training. The beast was further observed to enter a state of visible contentment upon feeding in this way, suggesting that live bears may even be its preferred source of sustenance. Well, that's kind of fucked. While this behavior is unexpected, it is not unwelcome. Bears no longer of use for training purposes can now be repurposed as required. That's fucked. Oh, wait. Okay, so they didn't... It didn't consume bears initially. Okay.
They were feeding bears to it.
I thought
This is
that
even
was
worse
the
than I'd feared.
point of the bears, besides just training it to kill.
Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on.
Okay. Motherfucker. I'll kill you. find a better way to do combos. Oh, there she is. But there's more dudes over here.
No lock downstairs. But I did find out that this place was more than just a prison. Something far more sinister was happening here.
I know. I've been reading some of these documents and... it can't be true, can it? Bearers die every day in service of their masters, but this is so much worse. Pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with nothing but their wits? And all in order to bring about more death. And not just those who could fight, but the elderly, children even. And those who wouldn't or couldn't were disposed of. Whatever that means.
I'm afraid it means they were fed to the monstrosity they kept here.
Then we're too late. And I was a fool to bring you here.
Don't say that. Did you find anything else?
A key. But it doesn't fit any of the locks on this floor.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. There's a corridor I haven't searched yet. Finish up here, then come and find me when you're ready.
All right. I'll be there in a moment.
Was it that door that said use key and it didn't work? Oh. Oh. How convenient.
Let's see what we can find down here.
Oh.
A survivor. And she sounds close.
Very close. How did you hear that, Clive? She's around the corner.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. He must have been terrified.
Did Chadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too.
Huh.
Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Chadwick.
I have a feeling he's not alive.
Monster's back! Chadwick, help!
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the girl safe.
All right. You put that bearer-eating bastard in the ground.
Hell yeah. I wonder what kind of monster it is. Is it?
We have to run.
You're safe now. We won't let it hurt you.
It's out there waiting for me. I
It's a
can't let it
fucking
live.
behemoth.
Not if it's got a taste for bearers.
Do I have potions? I do, okay. Alright, Torgal and Joshua. Who's that?
Beast will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Oh, it just backhanded me. Oh, you son of a bitch.
Too slow.
What? Fuck. Can't see. Alright, I just remember the backhand. Damn it. Yeah, let's just finish this. Cool. He dead.
Finally.
Sid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think.
What's with that reaction?
No.
What is it?
A diary. I gave it to Chadwick before we went our separate ways. He was here. Do you think that creature?
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last. The girl is safe thanks to him.
Chadwick. You fool.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hideaway. We don't want his sacrifice to have been in vain.
No. Of course not. I'll see that she's looked after from now on. It's the least I can do.
Cool, one more person to our hideout.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember. The man I thought of as a brother.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past. If you don't mind, that is.
Of course. You already met my former master. She trained Chadwick and I to do two things. Kill and obey. We were supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. But no bid was ever high enough to convince her to part with us. For years we were her daggers in the shadows. But we could never quite shake our doubts about the things she made us do. And then, one day, we just couldn't do them anymore. So we escaped. But staying together was out of the question. They would have found us too easily. After so many years of training, the pull to serve was always strong. It scared me to think he might have taken another master, become a dagger in someone else's hand.
But even in captivity, the battles he fought were his own. And he died not as someone's tool, but as a hero.
Haida Marie is proof of that. Bearers can cast off their
Pretty
shackles.
Chad of Chadwick.
And the Cursebreakers will show them how. I'll fight until my dying breath to see it done.
That's
for
a death
Chadwick,
flag.
and for all of us.
Thank you, Doris. We'll be counting on you.
Quest complete. There it is. So that's quest 2 out of 11. These are not bad quests. I actually kind of like how much lore that these quests are giving. But, goddamn, like, did you really have to put these right before the final battle? Like, I want to finish the main story. I want to see the cool fight at the end.
How may I help you today, Clive?
Like, they probably can put these quests after the final battle, but I don't know.
Come
Like,
to claim your just desserts?
Oh,
All
Genji
yours.
gloves.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, it's not like I don't want to do these side quests. I just want to do the main story. What are those gloves? Are they okay? Oh, increases damage dealt. That's kind of hard to beat. Well, since I'm over leveled anyway, I guess I don't really need experience.
Twin sides, hundreds of...
Haida Marie has taken a liking to her new home. How her spirit survived Balmung Dark unbroken, I'll never know.
Oh, new hunts. Or is that just the Kuza beast I just killed? That's one of them. Masterless Marauder. The looter army captured such beasts and tried to train them to serve, but this particular specimen's training has long since ceased. Whether its captors turned Akashic with the rest of their comrades or were eaten by their pet when it broke free from its bonds, we shall never know. All we do know is there is none left alive who knows the words to put an end to his rampage. Only a show of force will suffice. Is this back at the prison? Alright, Vivian, here's your from a distance.
I found it. The book you lost.
I hope this doesn't put Vivian in danger.
You found it.
Sure did.
Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
agree with that.
But it also means that the truth is not immutable, that it can be changed, provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not from the outside, but from within. So if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when enough people believe, belief begets truth. Give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth. Make them believe in you, as I do.
I'll try, Vivian. I'll try.
Wait, there's more? Am I just gonna get a new hunt monster every time I complete a side quest now? The Wailing Banshee? Arnik, Walud. Okay, let me put this in the notes. That's the wrong controller. Okay. What's next? Where there's a will, there's a way. Right here.
Are you buying or selling? Anything else?
Buying.
A fine choice.
Actually, is there anything I can sell?
Got anything else for me?
Okay.
Your Grace, my lord, I trust your journey was not overly onerous.
Cyril, you found a letter from Father?
Yes, I have it here.
Oh yeah, this is his inheritance questline. Or not inheritance as well.
If you would do us the honor, my lord.
My beloved sons, I know that I ask much of you in this coming war, but I see no other way to secure a future for our duchy and our family. Yet even should we succeed in subduing the savages and winning back Drake's breath, the threat of the Blight still looms, and only with all Rosaria striving as one might we at last overcome it. I have made plans to see us through, but such are the obstacles that stand in our way. It shall likely fall to you to continue my work. I know that you have the strength and the courage and the will to do so. This shall be an arduous inheritance, and so I offer you another, that you might be reminded of the love and the faith that I hold for both of you. Amazing that his former wife is not on it at all.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this missive shortly before his passing.
The day before we left for Phoenix Gate. What are these plans he spoke of?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to my predecessor, the former bearer of the Burning Quill, who entrusted them in turn to me. The complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new university to further the development of non-magical technologies. With the Blight spreading ever more widely across the Twins, Archduke Elwyn saw this as the only means of securing
I wonder if he knew
survival.
that magic was the cause.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries of common wisdom overturned. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, he would never have written this message. Nor would he have entrusted his vision to his most faithful aides. Those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the less benevolent personages at court.
It's a pity only they are still with us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father were the first to suffer the Duchess's wrath. But one at least remains, and she has come bearing gifts.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she explain, my lord.
Is she?
After all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor extended only to recovering His Grace's will and arranging a meeting with the one who might execute it, or a part of it at least.
And where is this woman?
She awaits you in the archive, Your Grace.
Thank you, Cyril.
The archive?
Shall we then?
Where would that be? Is it Rosalind? Oh. I didn't realize there's a library here.
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings. Fragments of Ultima's true nature surely lie buried within these pages. We have only to unearth them.
Alright. Matoya?
My lord, your grace. I hardly recognize you. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield, loyal servant to the Phoenix and his shields. Your father, the Archduke Elwyn, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift. I only hope you can forgive my tardiness in bringing it to you.
Lift up your head, Lady Goditha. You have our gratitude for your service to our house and to our father.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady, perhaps you could explain a little more? What exactly is the gift you bring?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain keepsakes upon their coming of age.
Indeed it has. Our father often spoke of the day when our turn would come.
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Matching armbands for you both. Alas, he did not live. Indeed, he was taken from us even before they could be completed. He had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was to be finished himself, but it was not to be. And his gifts remain incomplete.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you, as they are. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finished articles, not these, works in progress. But with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have pleased him more than for you to do so.
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady. May our father's will be done.
Oh, I am much obliged.
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more than simply happening upon it. It is found in the bellies of elder griffins, you see. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen has made its nest in Titan's Wake, not far from here.
A certain specimen?
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In answer to your unspoken question, yes. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movements since you were but a boy.
Really? Damn.
Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield, it would surely make your father proud.
What say you, Joshua?
What else?
Yeah, let's go kill it.
Titan's Wake is to the south of here. But we must not be hasty. The good lady has been disappointed once already.
It's a griffin, right? I was spacing out when she was talking. but I recognize the name as a griffin in 14. Let's fucking go. Yes, it's the wrong way. You guys are not worth my time. Oh, God damn it. Whatever.
Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is. The boy.
Thanks, Gal. There it is. For House Rossfield.
Yeah. There we go. Oh, okay. Kingslayer, how apt. Staggered idiot. Die, idiot. Cool.
Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goritha will know.
Geel bug.
Oh, thank the Founder you were safe. The Griffin is slain then?
Yeah.
And the Heartstone claimed.
Yes. This radiant luster, like frozen flame, is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your grace. Your father would be so proud.
Lady Goditha, the lapidary is ready.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with him shortly. If you would excuse me, I shall have the stone cut and set forthwith. The armbands are complete. Pray, take them. They are yours, after all. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It symbolizes unwavering will and devotion. And the graven vines encircling the stone represent the unbreakable bonds between you.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside and outside the duchy. Enemies who would thwart his vision. Only with unwavering devotion would it ever be realized.
And only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then might those enemies be overcome.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity of the task he would entrust to you, his heirs. But this was more than just a message. It was a promise. That he would always be with you.
Thank you, Lady Goditha, for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady, but there is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own. Even if the armbands were incomplete, she would surely not have overlooked them. So, how were you able to keep them from her?
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, your father spoke to me of his intentions for the bands, of the deep love he had for both of you, and his hopes for your future. In the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered her jewelry be sent away from the castle. It was then that I knew she meant to betray us. I tried to warn your father, but it was too late. When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the armbands and I fled into the night.
And thank the Founder you did.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the Heartstone on its passing. And so my pursuit continued, until Lord Cyril appeared before me. He informed me that his Grace's will had been recovered, and that his sons were alive and well.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria, I thank you for your loyal service.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord. Your Grace, for coming back to us. For giving my service meaning.
Damn.
I remain your faithful servant, my lord.
Yeah?
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that was denied you for so long.
It is. And we thank you for the part you played, Cyril.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, might I suggest that you make your way to your father's memorial atop Hawk's Cry Cliff? Let him see that you have received his blessing, and that his vision lives on in you.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive? Shall we pay Father a visit?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks before we left for Origin.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Phoenix Gate. I prithee claim it, for it too is a part of your inheritance, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hands than perched upon some lonely rock.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive. He's waiting.
Is this memorial here in Delmecchia? Where is it? It's in Rosario, right? Yeah. Oh. Okay. That was Elwyn's grave that I stumbled upon like 30 hours ago.
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
To save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. Of that I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. But perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
Damn. I guess it is CBU3's specialty. Like invisible walls. Oh, maybe I could have... Maybe I would have known it was his grave with the helmet there.
Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us. As we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.
Okay, these side quests are pretty deep. But man, it... Okay, he's been in my party. Has he not? I guess he wasn't there at the Bellman Dark. Did we ever figure out what that fucking tower was? Okay. Let's see what Northreach is up to. Yeah, these side quests are pretty nice. They're better than the early side quests. The ones before Odin were pretty... Or the ones after Odin...
mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
The ones after Odin were not that great, from what I remember.
I'm nervous. Well met, Sid. This is the initiate. Ember, present yourself.
At your service, Master.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here. Your life is your own.
Oh, of course. Thank you, Sid. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating me at my trial.
To become a scout, yes. You are aware of the dangers inherent in that role.
I am. But I swore I'd face them. Just like the man who saved my life.
And who would that be?
Gav. It was him who found me and freed me. No magic, no support, just one man and his nose. Came and sniffed me out. It taught me what one man can do if he puts his mind to it. And I've been training ever since, so that one day I can be someone's saviour, just like Gav was mine.
I'm sure he'd be flattered. You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like you're under no illusions. Stick to this path and you'll make a fine Cursebreaker.
So, what? Have I passed?
You haven't even started yet. Now listen. Not far from here is an Imperial lookout, Eastwatch. The guards there record all their sightings in a logbook. You are to find it and bring it here.
And bring it here, right. Anything else?
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial outpost and stealing the logbook would be quite sufficient. You will need to assess the situation, determine a point of entry, create a distraction and effect an escape, all without being discovered and thrown into an Imperial oubliette.
Ember.
Oubliette.
Gav isn't our best scout because he can do everything. It's essential that you know your limits.
Know my limits, right. I won't let you down.
He's gonna die.
It shouldn't be as dangerous as I made out. But keep a weather eye on him all the same, would you?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impress me.
Is that a girl?
Faster!
Meta guy.
No holding back. really is ready. Or maybe not.
You fucked up.
Damn it.
Oh.
Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Let's try.
Cool.
Ember, are you?
Where'd he go?
Gone. Of course. Scouts really are a rare breed. Back to Northreach it is then.
A fortress?
And who'll pay for that?
Where'd he go?
I didn't expect you back so soon. Where is Ember? How did he fare?
I thought I'd find him with you. He must have fled. I followed him to Eastwatch, where I found him being set upon by a wild Avis. He was just standing there. Didn't even draw his sword. I had to step in and take care of things. But by the time I had, he was nowhere to be seen. I assumed he'd set off in your direction, but apparently not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Sid. I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he seemed like...
The right man for the job? I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with retrieving.
Oh.
Hey? How did you... Don't you tell me you breached the tower while Sid was busy saving your skin.
What? Wasn't that what you asked me to do? To bring the thing back without getting caught?
He has you there, Nazaire. And he did it all on his own.
But Sid, he
did what he thought was best. And now I have to decide whether I agree.
Of course. We'll await your evaluation back at the hideaway. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy decision.
Okay, I didn't... That quest line was okay, I guess.
The garrison is threatening to pull their sentries from the market.
I would speak with this Duke.
Saw the captain just now.
Alright,
Your
Isabella.
town needs you.
Isabel. What do you have for me?
Do you have a moment, Clive?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the Duke, unsurprisingly. His Eminence has assumed full control of the garrison and put every able-bodied man to work on the fortifications. The town was left all but unguarded, so Philippe was compelled to form a citizens' watch to fill the void. And though my dear boys have been characteristically willing to assist him in this, they want for bodies. So I was wondering if you would lend them your strength, that the people of Northreach might sleep easier.
Sure.
If only
Why
for
not?
a few nights.
Of course.
Of course. Whatever you need.
Thank you, Clive. What would I do without you? Philippe told me he had men stationed at...
Where can I find the mistress of this establishment?
Sabine.
Here, my lady. To whom do I have the pleasure of speaking?
My name is Sabine, and it is my displeasure to be the daughter of the Duke of Oriflamme, who I understand is causing you and your town no small amount of trouble. I wish to speak to you about what might be done.
Very well. Let us speak.
So,
I trust you'll forgive me,
daughter.
Clive.
Okay.
Absolutely. Our conversation can wait.
I thought she was the Duke's wife.
Proceed.
As you know, my father is a most overbearing and supercilious man, and I join you in objecting to his every action. Indeed, I owe you my thanks for continuing to argue against his reckless plans. Yet I fear he is not one to be swayed by reason. No. He must be made to face the consequences of his actions.
And who would make him do this?
I would. Myself and several other like-minded individuals. Were you to join us, we would surely have the strength to drive him from Northreach for good.
Does that not seem a trifle... drastic?
Drastic action is precisely what is called for. Unless you are content to see your people downtrodden and dispossessed. My father would have it that citizens exist only to serve the Empire. That they should be forced to make every sacrifice to ensure her revival. But he is wrong. It is not the people who must serve the Empire, but the Empire who must serve her people.
You said it.
He's always been like this. Scornful of the opinions of anyone he judged beneath him. But he cannot be allowed to ride roughshod over the common folk any longer. We must fight him. By all possible means.
Fight him? No. My purpose is to quell the tension in Northreach, not to stoke it. Respectfully, my lady. Our only chance of saving this town depends upon every one of us uniting against our common enemy. Your father and his... While I understand your frustration...
False hope. But I see that your mind is made. If you will extend... I bid you good...
She certainly has spirit.
Indeed. Which may be enough to seal the fate. This is all about her.
Family.
I'm sorry. Ah, yes. But perhaps it's better that you heard them from...
Right away.
It's just a pity I cannot join.
Alright.
Your town needs you.
What does the dame have to say about all this? So you are content to abandon the... Please, I beseech you. If you are a true son of Northreach, you must fight to defend your home.
That's exactly what I am doing, milady. Or trying to, at least. The land is crawling with fiends, and someone has to keep watch.
Even when our true enemy is hiding in the garrison? Fine. You're not the only able-bodied man in Northreach. Thank you so much for your help.
She cornered you too, then?
Could hardly get a word in edgeways. Like father, like daughter, eh?
She made an uninvited appearance at the... hoping to convince the deck.
Anyway.
Our mutual friend thought you might welcome some help.
Oh, right, as always. We've had some reports.
They're back.
Seems that we haven't been able to...
Right.
You know. Thank you. I'll look into one.
No. Okay. Yeah, so far, not a huge fan of this quest.
Ready, go?
Yeah, like the dog quests, Elwyn's quest, those were good quests.
Damn it. The reports were true. I need to stop them before they get to the town.
To me, Blades!
Cool.
Call that a test, Ultima?
Clive, it's me.
Oh, great.
You alright?
I am. I dispatched the...
Well, that's something. But what were they doing south of town? We might be able to fend off an attack from one side or the other, but from both?
Do you have eyes in the north?
Some. You head back to Northreach. I want you there just in case war breaks.
What do you mean?
Her ladyship's been busy stirring up ill feeling towards her father. She'll have a...
What? I'll do what I can to be careful.
Don't worry, I'm not like you. One sniff of those things and I'm running back to town screaming blue murder.
Funny. Ah, here we go. Politics.
Do you not see, Father? The people of Northreach have given enough, and only a fool would ask for more.
Listen to me, Sabine. Where would our people be without their country, hmm? The Empire is their sword and their shield. It is she that ensures they can live without fear. And now she teeters on the brink. Without their sword, how will the people fight? Without their shield, how will they protect their kin? Can the unarmed stand against the advancing hordes? No. But there is yet hope. A new shield, a new sword. A new empire. We can rebuild Sandbreck, just as Great Grieger wills it.
Perhaps we could, Father. But we don't want to. Not if it is built on the broken backs of the people.
Please, let us not quarrel in the street.
Did her tits just
You must see
shake?
that no good will come of this. Our fight is not with each other, but with the threat that draws ever closer to our gates. A threat that your sword has yet to rid us of, Your Eminence.
You will hold your tongue, whore.
Damn.
You may have filled my daughter's head with your heresy, but I will not be corrupted.
Corrupted? Your daughter's opinions are her own, as you would know if you had ever deigned to listen to her. At least I hope they are your opinions, and not posturing born of a family feud. Northreach deserves better than that.
Northreach deserves better than you, Carla.
Whoa.
Yes, I know who you are. The slut of Twinside who bedded a Brandit.
Jealous, are you? That a woman might choose a bearer over a pious man of Griega?
Clive! I met a swarm of thralls coming south from Oriflamme. Hundreds of them. Too many to count.
No. Work on the fortifications has scarcely begun. We will retreat to Caer Norvent and there make our stand. Did you hear me? That was an order!
While this is but a heartfelt plea, let us make our stand here and protect our homes. Protect those that we love. Together, for Northreach!
You heard the dame. What are we waiting for? Pikemen to the gates. Archers to the roofs. Quickly, come on!
But she is but a common...
whore, yes. And we'll follow her to the gates of hell. The men have their orders, and they look like following them. I got them spaced out at regular intervals. Whichever direction the thralls strike from, there'll be someone there to meet them.
Thank you, Philippe. Rest assured the people will play their part. The herbalist has donated her stock of medicines to me. Should any of your men be injured, take them to the Vale. We'll see to them there.
Thank you, milady. I will.
I'll play my part too. You still won for numbers. Unlike the enemy. I only hope I can go some way to evening the odds. Philippe, can I leave the south in your hands? I doubt the thralls by the lake were the last of their number.
Of course. I'll lead a party down that way so we don't get taken by surprise. What about you?
I'll make my way up the road to Oriflamme. I fought a few of these things. And while I can't promise to hold them all back, I should be able to thin the herd.
All right. But take care.
Thank you. Both of you.
You can thank us when it's over.
Till then, madame.
When the fighting begins, we can take refuge in the barracks.
Hold on. Whatever. Where's the army of Kashyyyk? Oh, yeah.
There are so many of them.
Not for long. It's only just begun.
Oh. Maybe I should have done that. Good enough.
That looks to be the last of them. I wonder how the others fared. Better hurry back to town. Come on, Torgal.
Clive, it's good to see you.
And you. The road to Oriflamme is clear. How did you and your men fare?
Well, we ended up fighting for our lives down by the lake. Took a few nicks, but nothing the girls of the Vale can't put right.
Glad to hear it.
Well, it seems we've survived. For the time being, at least. I thank you both for answering the call.
You were right. And I was wrong. About everything. I had thought that the only way to unite the people was under the banner of Empire. That without a strong hand to guide them, they would drift apart. To be borne hither and yon by the eddying currents of fate. But you brought them together. Not by force, nor by the exercise of goddess-given authority, but by simply being one of them. by knowing what they feel, because you feel it yourself.
Our purpose was ever the same, Your Eminence. You were merely distracted by a loftier vision of empire and glory, while our eyes beheld matters closer to home.
You have the right of it again, as did you, Sabine. His radiance said it himself. Sanbreque is naught without her citizens. I forgot that, and I am sorry.
I'm sorry too, Father. I should never have taken things so far. I only wanted you to understand how the people felt. How I felt. But my anger got the better of me.
Do not blame yourself, my dear. I should have listened.
Your Eminence. But I believe the same. We all want safe, and we may yet. Will you join? Thank you. Now that that is settled, I must... And today there...
Madame Isabel is a rare soul in these dark times. I see that it is not men like me who should lead the realm, but women like her.
Huh. Right. If only I'd listened to her when I had the chance.
Forgive me for saying so, milady, but you still do. The dame said it herself. We can turn things around, and that goes for you, one of us.
One of you?
Well said, Captain. Let this be a new beginning.
Well, I should see if Isabel needs any... Can we get you anything?
There's no need to worry any longer.
I saw several soldiers being carried to the Vale.
How goes the treatment of the wounded? I'll be happy to man one end of a stretcher if it would help. Don't mention it.
Oh, but I must.
Tell me, if Northreach had fallen, but I sense you would rather have died. For you, madame, I have all the time.
Damn it.
Very well. I was Carla then, courtesan to the... So sought after was I that it was only they. Alas, those halcyon days were not to last. For naive as I was, I fell in love with a bearer. He was my master's guard. The gentlest man. After they discovered us together, he was... And so we fled. Not that we had anywhere to flee to. We wandered until we found ourselves here. In Northreach. It was the Vale that took us in, that fed us, those that could be healed at least.
He passed away.
He did. But at least we were able to share a few. It was the greatest gift I have ever received. But the generosity of this town, the men and women of the Vale supported me, though I was still a stranger to. And so I swore that I would return the kindness, that I would repay my debt to the Vale.
Thank you, Isabel, for sharing this with me.
You're a lot like him, you know. Perhaps that is why I have such a soft spot for you. Never stop fighting, Clive. And I shan't either. I know that it will not be easy to keep Northreach together. But our efforts will be rewarded. Just look at us now. The people, the soldiers, even the Duke of Oriflamme and his daughter. All united in defense of this town. And what of you? Can we count on your support?
Always.
Okay. That ended a bit better than I thought it would. Ooh. Where's Jill anyway? She one of the quest givers?
You should have seen.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Truth be told, but from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve, but he didn't lose heart.
Indeed it is. The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always... All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his back,
Wait, Sergeant. And this time he was found wanting, after all.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be... But a scout's by sniffing out that log. Young Ember here has shown it wouldn't do to wait.
Fine.
I'll do what. I'll spend my days and nights and I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, that time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you?
Forgive me, Sid.
But that's why we need men like... Remember that.
I will...
New hunt. Oh, fuck. Okay. The Grim Reaper. I need to put this in my notes. Okay. We'll run around until, wait. Do you have something for me?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you back.
2850.
Best of luck out there, Sid.
Can I craft that new sword yet?
There's something about it.
What do you want?
Nope. I need one more orichalcum and one dark seal.
Anything else?
Say what you will. Lady Karen has seen us.
What do you think happened to Miss Midadol?
I will not let them be forgotten.
Where the fuck did Jill go? Oh, she's still up here.
Clive, do you have a moment?
Oh,
of
yeah,
course.
Sure.
Always.
I wanted to give you something.
Is this?
I stitched it from the cloth you gave Hortense. The piece she said you liked best. I told her I used to enjoy needlework, but I didn't think she'd remember.
It's beautiful, Jill. You didn't have to.
When I was very little, I recall my mother telling me that young ladies of the court would give knights ribbons from their hair before they went off to war. I still wear mine, so I made you this instead. Black is the color of eternity. It cannot be stained. It cannot be sullied. It is unchanging, unwavering, just like your resolve. And mine.
Our resolve. May it never diminish.
And may it ever bring you back to me.
Damn.
I will always be here.
Thank you, Jill.
It's not time yet, is it? Somewhere in the back of my mind. I know. Thank you. And so for now...
Okay.
Be strong, Clive.
I've almost completed this. Oh wait, I think she gave me wasn't for that. Was that an actual item? Yeah, I don't know where it is. Well, I'm gonna stop streaming because it's raid time. Thank you for watching.